Hello Internet, I'm doing a quick review of the Diodario Planet Waves Classic Series instrument cable. These are the 6-inch patch cables that you'd use to plug in pedals on a pedal board. They come in 6 inches and they're all right angle, and this is pretty much the only ones they offer. I think they have a 1 foot cable that isn't angled. It's just a straight 1/4 inch jack. So for my pedal board, I use these. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at how you would incorporate them on a pedal board. It's pretty straightforward, but I just thought I would show some of the advantages of these cables over some of the other brands and styles. Alright, so get these out. The packaging is straightforward, a couple twisty ties on a piece of cardboard. Nothing too fancy here, but you don't need too fancy. And probably the best thing about these cables is that they're pretty good quality, and for 3 cables it is under $10. So in my book, that's a good buy. Now let me grab my pedal board. Okay, so this is my pedal board. This is for my live bass rig. As you can see, I have quite a few different things. This actually isn't a pedal, this is my power supply, so I'm gonna set this aside for now. But right now I'm in the process of rewiring my pedal board, so I thought it'd be a good time to show these cables. I bought all new cables and I wanted to change the signal flow on my pedals a little bit, so that's what I'm doing, and that's why there's no power hooked up and no cables hooked up at this point in time. So just a quick demo of this. The reason I like these cables is because they're decently long enough without being too long, because sometimes if the cables are too long you end up with extra cord all over the place. And I really like that they're really flexible, so you can fit them in the tighter spaces and without like rigid cable making it so that you can't plug in things. But that's definitely the reason I buy these cables, is because they're really flexible, they're decent quality, and they're inexpensive, under $10, so that's like $3.33 per cable. Yeah, so the things that I wish they would do a little bit better is I wish I could buy more sizes than just 6-inch. I wish they did a 9-inch and maybe a 12-inch, all with right angles. And then the other thing they could do a little bit better is make these ends a little bit smaller. Just to compare to another patch cable I have, here's a DiMarzio, probably a 5-inch cable. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, but alright, so this pedal has all of its jacks on one side. So to give some idea of the difference between the two pedals, it's maybe, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, but sometimes that makes a difference. So I do wish these were just a little bit tighter or thinner, so that they didn't stick out as much. I wish they came in different lengths. But other than that, they've been great. They seem to hold up pretty well for me. I've been using them for years, and I really like them. So I've given you some idea of what I think about these instrument cables, I thought I would go online and let's check out how other people are rating them. We'll look at Amazon first since it's obviously the most popular website on the planet for buying stuff and for leaving reviews. That way we get a good pool of customer reviews. And in this case, I was right that they have lots of reviews. They've got almost 1,000, 999. That's huge. 4.5 stars. 4.4 out of 5 stars. I mean, that's really excellent. So if you add it up, you've got 89% are 4 and 5 star, and then 11 for the bottom 3 stars. And most things don't do better than that, so that's really good. Let's see all the customer reviews. I like this view because you can see the top positive reviews, top critical reviews. Alright, so let's see what this guy has to say. Alright, just finished up mastering a track where I chained 5 effects pedals together with these little chords, and must say there's zero, none, not a noise coming off these, and I was listening attentively with headphones. They are crystal clear, which opens up the track frequency range and space as one aims for. If you hear a buzz, I'd check something else down the line, like instrument or wiring or whatever setup you're working with. About that, if I heard a buzz, I would probably take all of my pedals out of the chain and just plug directly into the amp. That would be my advice to you. Anyway, I've used monster cables in my past recordings, and even with their cost being twice or more than these, I expected to benefit from the optimal quality. Turns out they would still make a bit of noise that bugged me when finishing a track. I think monster cables are more than twice these. Monster cables are going to be like $20 for a 6-inch cable, at least like $17 for that size cable. So yeah, they're pretty expensive. Alright, noisy connection cables are a pain to level out, and I've compromised before, so taking the headache out of the equation has me writing this reviews. 5 stars for the negation of residual front and center ear scratching noise. And at their cost, I don't know how they produce such quality on seemingly tight margin. I would guess it's automated manufacturing. They have machines that pump out these things. It's not like the old days where you had people hand soldering this stuff. And in fact, you can't even fix these cables because they're just one piece. There's no soldering or fixing them possible, really. Just throw them out. Alright, so pedals being side by side in a shortened chain, it definitely makes for easy to work setup, so you can just focus on playing the music or engineering a track. I'll buy more anytime I add pedals to my collection. 5 stars, that's my rare review. Thanks for reading. Happy playing all. It's good. I find it helpful. I'm not logged in right now. I would click helpful if I was, though. He seemed like a good guy. Thanks, Scott Johnson. Alright, so let's take a look at the top critical review. Read more. Alright, so a number of other reviews state these cables keep popping out of pedals. The reason is that these plugs are not sized right for a standard 1/4-inch mono plugs, to the point where the contact does not clip into the tip properly. See the photos. Honestly, guys, I haven't had this problem at all. Let's look at the photos. Okay. And this is any other cable, so and it looks to fit. But I'm noticing something weird here. Why is there such a bow on this? Like, it bows out quite a bit, and then over here it's almost straight. I mean, it's hard to tell because of the angle of the photos, but I don't know. It seems like this is bent out. Maybe this is some competitor who has beef or can't deal with the fact that you can buy 3 of these for $10, whereas this thing probably cost you $20. So, and I saw this review before, and I grabbed one of these cables and a jack I had laying around, and my batch of cables are just fine. I didn't have this problem at all, but I do see that it is a common complaint on them, so hopefully they've gotten it fixed. Since then, this guy wrote this review in 2015. I've been playing these cables longer than 2015, so I don't know what the deal is. But okay, let's look and see what Musician Friend has to say. Just get an idea of where they're at in their reviews. 82, we got 4.6 stars, even better than 4.4, but it's a smaller sample set, so I'm not a statistics major, so I don't really know what that means other than that Amazon 4.4 is probably better than this 4.6. All right. I'm not going to keep going through these. Let's look at this one. I tried the other brand, but they're out of stock, so I took a chance on this. I'm sorry I did. It didn't even last 2 weeks before they started causing problems on my pedal board. I couldn't figure out what the problem was. First annoying crackling sounds, then complete total failure with the pedals not working at all where these patch cables were. I wonder if he even had a pedal board or if he was just rolling out like a stack of pedals, because my pedal board stays standard. I mean, like once every couple years I'll change around the cables, but I don't see how you would end up breaking a cable on a pedal board. Anyway, so I had to think myself and ask, what is new here? What did I change? So I took these off and put some others I had around, and voila, end of problem. I don't know how 3 of these could fail. That sounds insane. I mean, maybe he just had one failing and he switched out 3 at the same time, but I'm not sure if I believe this guy. Maybe he had really bad luck. Maybe he lives in Hawaii and they actually got thrown into a volcano by USPS before he received the cables, and that would explain 3 bad cables. Let's see what this guy says. Not usable. Is that it? Comments about, okay, these cables are really well made. The molded connectors are rugged. I don't think I could break these cables. The real downside, as others have mentioned, is that the angles are too stiff and way too long. Okay, I agree with that. It's not unusable and 1 star though. These cables will not squeeze into tight spaces like Hosa cables will. I bought the 3-pack and have yet to use one of these cables. What a waste. This dude must have a pretty tight pedal board, so I don't agree with that. I could find a use. I've found all sorts of different uses for them. Anyway, 2, not really functional. This is a great deal and the cables are very well made, but they have one huge flaw, and that's the angle plug that's hard, non-bendable plastic. Well, and is very long, and the plug is generally very bulky. This that's crazy. I don't know about that. It is slightly long, like a few millimeters longer than some other things. They definitely didn't strive to make it as short as possible, but alright, it's unusable for them. So like if your pedal board is going to be super tight, just remember these probably aren't for you. He's only using one of them. Well, $10 for one is still a good deal. 2 out of 3 broken relatively soon. Alright, this is the kind of stuff I'm interested. You seem like a good buy, low price, trusted brand, 3 in a pack. having them in my guitar rig was okay for several months, but then the poor build quality of the cables became obvious. They simply couldn't handle it anymore. They would disconnect. I had to find proper position for the cable. And finally caught the weight of my guitar going completely silent just before the main solo at a live performance. So I threw all of them away and bought myself a good set of cables that I can rely on. Having a good sturdy cables is essential after all. Okay, so, all 4 broken within 3 months. What do you mean 4? These come in packs of 3. You're crazy, dude. So I bought them a few months ago because I needed a patch cable for my pedals, and I thought these were a good option. Worst cables probably ever. One came DOA, and the other 3 died a few months later. Dude, you got an extra one that didn't even exist. The signals are intermittent when used in a U shape between pedals. I haven't seen that. They've been just fine, but are fine when straight. You know, it's funny, you have to try pretty hard to hook them up straight because, I don't know, because of the 2 angled ends. It would be really weird to have both completely straight. Alright, way to go, Diodario. Whatever, Jonathan, that's cool. Alright. So, I think that basically reflects what I'm saying, or what I had said. They're really good pedal cables, but the ends are a little bit long, so, and also the fact that they only come in 6 inches is kind of annoying. And I wish I had 3-inch ones and 9-inch ones, so I would search the internet for those other lengths, but totally buy a package of these, maybe 2 packages of these for your pedal board, depending on how many pedals you have, because I think you'll find a use for them, unless you are wiring up pedals in a clown car. In that case, it's going to be way too tight, and they're going to be totally unusable, and you're going to hate your life. Alright, that's it from me. Thanks for watching.